My name is Mike Lister. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, actually a small suburb south. Franklin, Tennessee to be exact. Folks might know that place. I've been a career restaurant guy. I started in the restaurants when I was 17 and, doing odd restaurant jobs. And at one point I was CEO for a publicly traded company for a short period of time to kind of help them out in a time of need. The last 20 years or so I spent primarily as a franchisee for a national barbecue concept. It's probably been coming up on 2 years maybe with the Platinum series or Platinum level options trading. I think I ultimately made my first trade early September a year ago. And I was retired, so all of a sudden I got lots of time. And so I wanted to kind of teach myself how to trade, and I did it with stocks before that with a lot of different services. I probably had 10 or 15 at one point in time. Everybody's sending me their hot tips and why and their rationale, and it was coming out of COVID, and quite candidly I did pretty good, but I told somebody not too long ago, it was like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, the market was going crazy and I thought I was really good, and only to find out everybody was doing just as good as I was. So that kind of, sunsetted. Options seemed kind of interesting. I messed around with a little bit. It seemed to, get good tips, and if you can just make the right trades at the right time, it seemed to work. And then the whole AI thing started to bubble up with TradeAlgo, and I said, well, I got time every morning. I'm going to teach myself to be a day trader. And so I kind of got online with Dane and with Brian and, listening to those guys every morning, and Mr. Confluence, and those guys were great, and I was pretty successful. I was looking at my tracking, my batting average was pretty close to 80%. I was a little bit skeptical, and I paid real close attention to it for, probably the, first 3 or 4 weeks. And I looked at the trades, and I didn't touch anything. I just was kind of watching what was happening, and we were having just small wins every day, and they just kind of kept stacking up, and so here we are. So I think the skepticism was short-lived. I had also done enough research to know that I was onto something that was going to be the next big thing in the world of investing. This kind of approach for the retail investor was going to be a big win. But I've been intrigued about AI just in general for the last decade. I always felt like somebody should do this for investment purposes, because it seems like I certainly can't consume all the content and all the data points I would like to consume to make an informed decision, but by golly, AI sure can. Well, it allows me to do what I set out to do when I retire. I wanted to be on the golf course more. I wanted to spend more time with my family. I got 7 grandchildren that all showed up in the last 7 years. So, that's been a pretty big part of our life. And the AI thing was kind of the perfect solution. Today is literally day 102, the 102nd trading day that we've been involved with the Midas piece. I'm up just shy of 15%. I think it's like 14.74 or something. And that's a $25,000 gain. We started with 150K. We're now sitting at like 175 and change. I would say growth, innovation, and outcomes. I just bought an iPhone 16, and it was way better than my iPhone 1. Right, so what's TradeAlgo going to be like in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? I mean, I think we're at the genesis of this whole AI trading thing, and as it gets smarter and, it learns more, we learn more. What do the next generations of TradeAlgo look like? I'm pretty excited about that.